Hello lovely Pisces, welcome to your January 2023 love and general reading, and one card has already made its way to the floor. Very nice. I'm going to take a couple of cards for you Pisces, and this is for you if you're Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising or Venus. I'm going to take a couple of cards for what energy you're bringing into the month and also what you're bringing into the year, what you're bringing into 2023. Okay, let's have a looky-see. So it's a general reading, Pisces. It won't resonate with everybody, but just take what resonates, okay? And if it really is for you, if it really hits the spot, there will be an extended reading as there is every month, and that is the first link in the description box. Okay, Pisces. Oh, it's really bright, isn't it? We get Justice for you, and we get the Five of Wands. Pisces, I quite like this combination, but it feels a little bit fighty for a Pisces, feels a bit combative. Some of you are not sure if a situation has, what's the word? If a situation is right, if it's true and if it's fair, which is of course what Justice is all about. Now this might be something to do with your love life. It might be something to do with work. We don't know. I'm going to have a look with some more cards in a minute. It could be across all areas of your life. Being a Pisces, and do let me know in the comments section because I'm always interested. I am a Pisces, but I always want to know about other Pisces. I want to know about February ones, about March ones, what the difference is. So do let me know how you deal with this kind of thing. Because in Justice to Pisces, as far as I can tell, sort of Pisces doesn't confront it very much. It kind of rolls off the back of the fish and you just swim on and think, well, it will right itself, or I just won't make a fuss, or, you know, that kind of thing. But I feel like as we come into January, because Mercury is retrograde as we come into the month, that there's a need to right the wrongs and there's a need to rebalance something which maybe you wouldn't normally have. Normally you'd let this go, but I'm not sure you're going to. And I'm not sure that you should either, actually. Five of Wands is a card of, you know, it's a fight. It's not like a big fight. It's more people sparring, you know, but it's battle. It's being prepared for battle. These people are rehearsing. And it looks kind of friendly. It's not like the sort of, you know, sticking the knife in or anything. But there is a knife in the Justice card, and it's the knife, it's the sword of truth. So you are going to want to know, Pisces, in January, the truth about things, the truth about a situation. And this would imply to me, and let's have a look with the next couple of cards, this would imply to me that there is something you should know. And I would also guess, being a Pisces with Pisces rising, that if there's something you should know, Pisces, you already do on some level know it, or you sense it, you suspect it. Pisces is two fish swimming in different directions, and one of those fish, Pisces, always knows the goods. And you know this if you're a Pisces, and please, again, let me know in the comments section. One fish knows. It's your line of intuition, it's always right, and most times as a Pisces, the other fish, the rational, you know, fish, which is necessary, steps in and talks you out of your own intuition. Pisces does this all the time. It's so annoying because you look back and you literally say, I knew this, I said this would happen and I did it anyway, and it's just so annoying. So I want you to know, Pisces, that if you have a hunch about something at the moment, you're right. Okay? You're right. Okay. What's this about, please? Nope, it's not that one. Oh, Seven of Cups. That is it. When you got the Seven of Cups, it's like, here we got someone deciding about which cup to choose, but he doesn't know because The cups are the wrong way up on this one. You can see a bat's wing sticking out there. You can see there's a snake knocking around, and you've got some idea here that I think it's karmic with the Justice card. You've got some idea that something isn't quite cricket. It's not quite as it should be, but you don't know what that is. And you don't, this whole kind of kerfuffle could be that you are being sort of, I don't really like the word gaslighted, but it's in my head, so I might as well say it. Gaslighted. And then we've got the Empress, who is the Queen. I mean, she's the Empress, Major Arcana, is all 4 queens in one. And her intuition is huge. She's, you know, the Empress is usually a pregnant woman. It's somebody with loads of feminine energy. We've got the moon energy, which of course is Piscean energy. You have all this wisdom, Pisces, swirling around, okay? And remember as well as a Pisces that your wisdom doesn't necessarily fit the mold of the rest of the world. So if somebody said prove it, you probably can't. It's not your way of doing it. You are gifted, Pisces, as the 12th sign of the zodiac, with this kind of weird 6th sense. So please don't ignore it. Okay, please don't ignore it. Oh, I love that card for you. Then we have we have the Sun card. This is gorgeous energy. When you get the Sun card, let me just have some water a minute. When you get the Sun card, things become a lot more open. It's also lucky, it's radiant. You could be dealing with a fire sign, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius with the Sun card. Let me switch my electric boot on. But it's the best, it's not the best card. You can't have favourites. It's like children, but it's a damn fine card to get. Okay? So you get some vitality, you get some power, you get a bit of a power up with this Sun card. So whereas you might normally not have the energy to hold out for this, you can hold out for this. There is a point to it. You are going to get a boost. Also, you are going to get to see what's what and what's happening, because the Moon card is what is hidden, what is beneath the surface, and what is secret and what is cyclical. And the Sun card is the opposite. It's kind of the external masculine energy of boom, now you see it. Here's the spotlight. This is what's happening. Here's the truth. So I like that and know that that will happen. But for me, we got Mercury retrograde, which I think Pisceans do quite well in Mercury retrograde. So it's retrograde from the 29th of December to about the 12th or something of January. And then we have on the 21st the new moon in Aquarius. And I feel like, yeah, new moon in Aquarius on the 21st. And Mercury goes direct, on the 18th. Okay. I feel like when that happens, you've got 2 weeks in the beginning of January here where you're going to need to be very Piscean, because everything's going to be muddled. It's all going to be quite 7 of Cupsy. No one's going to really agree, including you in your own head. Your 2 fish are going to be arguing with each other. This is the truth. No, it's not. Don't be so stupid. Well, I know it is. I feel it. Well, you're feeling it. That kind of conversation. So there's all this swirling around. And what this is doing while Mercury is retrograde is actually balancing things up for you in a way that needs to happen. And also, somewhere out of all of that, the truth will emerge. Swing. So it kind of goes here from this sense of karma that the universe has, that it wants you to know, it wants the truth to emerge, but it kind of wants you to discover it, like on a journey almost. So for some of you, you might be dealing with somebody whose words were kind of opaque, confusing, difficult to fathom, like there were little parts of it that you could get, but then the rest of it you couldn't. You know, there was some sense of mystery about it. For some of you, it just feels like there's clouds of confusion, and I feel like some of that confusion is yours, but some of it, the image that I'm getting, is someone wandering around with bellows going like this and, you know, making something happen, making clouds around the cups, as it were, so that you can't access your own very, very, very acute sense of what's what. Okay, so what do we need to know about? What's behind the scenes? What can we have any sort of notion here of a warning or something of the area that we're dealing with? So I just saw the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Can we have a notion of anything here that we're dealing with? Oh, okay. Let's just push those up a little bit. So we've got the Five of Cups for you, Pisces. Five of Cups, it's a very Piscean card. It's a card of disappointment. It's a card of grief, and it's a card of letting something go, because the time has come for that to be let go of, okay? So for some of you, this might be something to do with someone or something that you are grieving, that you've left in the past. Let me just take another card for you. Ooh, Pisces. And then we get the Lovers. So the Lovers, you know, of course, this is such a hot card, isn't it? The Lovers. The Lovers used to be called the Choice. Something about January and the first 2 weeks being a bit of a mess. And because Pisceans are good at messes, okay? So take it as a compliment that the first 2 weeks, or a good sign that the first 2 weeks are a mess. Something about that leads you to, when we kind of emerge from the Mercury retrograde, blinking into the sunshine, something about that leads you to a different path, a different, a bit like sliding doors. You know, when if you did this, you'd go down that route, and if you did this, you'd go down that route. It feels like that. It's changing the course of your destiny here. And I don't think you're going to know that until sometime later. But that's what the Lovers is here for. Some of you need to make a decision about a relationship, about whether somebody's telling the truth, about whether there's something you need to know, which there is. Yes. Then we get the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands, gorgeous card. Card of communication, card of words, card of language, the message, momentum. Again, there's a lot of momentum in this reading, actually. I feel like for some of you, there are words spoken with the Eight of Wands. It could be a message, it could be a conversation. And these words, they may have been words that were spoken in the past. They may have been words that are about to be spoken and they haven't been said yet. But either way, these words, you get to kind of think about them. You may initially find them a bit confusing. You may initially find that it's a bit, that there are snakes to dodge, you know, that you need to stand up and be counted a little bit as to what you feel is the truth. And if you can't tell from, you know, gathering the evidence of what they've said or what's in the message, you must rely on your hunches, because they're going to serve you very well, and they already have for some of you, okay? Already have. Who are we talking about here, please? I'm going to take a couple of cards for this. Oh, I like that, but I can see how that could be a worry. Okay, So who we're talking about, and I'll put these here because we've got the box there. We've got the Hierophant and the Page of Cups. Now, quite different energies. So the Hierophant is Taurus energy, but it's also the energy of the teacher, of the guru, of the system. So for some of you, in a broader sense, you may be reviewing what you believe, which for a Piscean is a really big deal. Because I believe, I'm pretty sure, I think it's Liz Green, who's just one of my most favourite. Liz Green and Bernard Fitzwalter are probably my favourite astrologers. And I'm pretty sure, along with Linda Goodman as well, actually. Oh God, I'm going to get into it now and give you a whole list. But that the Pisces mantra was I believe. I'm certain of it, actually. So Pisces, what you believe in your life in general is very, very important. And this might be up for grabs, what you believe. You might be changing what you believe, and you might have believed it for a really long time. For some of you, though, the person that we're dealing with, so that's the one thing that you're dealing with, which is the guru, the sage, the system, your knowledge, how you've always thought might be changing. And the other thing I get, because we get the Page of Cups, which of course is an offer coming in, but it's also an apology for some of you. It's someone you may not have heard from for a while. For others of you, it's just meeting somebody as well. So it could be that first message you get from somebody asking you out on a date, that kind of thing. Either way, this has all of the promise and all of the romance and all of that. But again, Seven of Cups and the Lovers, you will be making a choice about this. You will be making a choice about how that goes. Interesting. I want to clarify as well. I want to clarify that Five of Cups. And I think I want to clarify the Lovers. In the extended reading, I'm going to ask how they feel about you. I'm also going to ask, is there something we need to know in the background? And I'm going to have a good old dig and get my hands dirty about that, actually. Okay, so clarifying the Five of Cups, and I'm clarifying the Lovers. I think I understand this, actually. Okay, so clarifying that, I get the Three of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Queen of Pentacles. Pisces, for some of you, there's something you've been waiting for, because the Queen of Pentacles is what I call my Queen of Velvet waiting. It's a beautiful kind of waiting because it's not an anxious wait. It's when you know that something is for you, you know that something is right, and so you're just in the background, loving where you are and deciding to be in a place where you're going to receive it. Okay? The High Priestess tells you that you need to know the difference here. For some of you, between friends and between lovers. For others of you, between connections, all your connections. Your friends, your family, this is the Hierophant here, where you've come from, how you relate, romantically and otherwise. It's all up for grabs. It's all up for review. And this is what Mercury retrograde does for you as well. And then the High Priestess, which is a very Piscean card, is calling on you not just to, trust your intuition, but to really rock and roll in that intuition. Go bananas in your intuition. Use whatever esoteric delights you use as a Piscean. Believe in your hunches and follow them, okay? Believe in yourself. And I know this all sounds a bit tea-towely, but it's very, very important, okay? And also the universe says that in January, you're going to know what's worth waiting for and what you're going to pass on. Whew. Let's have some love cards. doing Belinda Grace, True Love Oracle cards. Always have to knock on them to get the lid off. Oh dear, one of my subscribers on the dailies taught me that. Okay, what do we need to know? Oh gosh. Okay, well there's one that fell on the floor that I want, so let's have that. Oh, oh, God. Sorry, I went all a bit Benny Hill then. Oh, misses and all that stuff. Let me just fish these off the floor. Now then, Pisces. Even though they all fell on the floor, so they weren't together, you got two consecutive cards here. You got the gardener and the garden. That's interesting. And you also got commitment. Let's not hide that. No one puts baby in the corner. Commitment as well. Now, of course, a garden, and my God, I would not know about this because I'm a terrible gardener. Well, I do know it because I'm bad at it. And sometimes being bad at something teaches you more than being good at it. A decent garden takes a heck of a lot of commitment. So it's a very good metaphor for love. And I think what's going to happen in January is you find out who's willing to put in that work, the effort. You know, there's a lot, especially when a garden looks beautiful, there's a lot of boring work has gone into it in the background. Weeding, fertilising, you know, all that kind of stuff that I'm no good at whatsoever. And then, of course, spring comes along, it looks beautiful and everyone oohs and ahs and says, oh my God, it's amazing. But you've sort of shoveled shit for ages in the background. And that's, you know, what's happened, isn't it? So I feel like for some of you, you're seeking the gardener. And I know this is a really strange kind of metaphor, but you're Pisces, so it, you know, it doesn't matter, it's important. You're seeking the gardener and you're seeking where is right to put your own commitment as well. Because, you know, we've got the swans here and the whole and the moon as well in the background and the whole notion of swans mating for life. And I just feel like for some of you this could be literal. It could be the person or you are actually a gardener. But I just feel like there's something here about tending, about the season and about this commitment. So somehow with your intuition and with the events that are happening in January, you get to see, you know, who's with you when it comes to, I don't know why I want to say vegetable patch. Who's with you when it comes to, if the garden was a garden of metaphor for love, who's with you? Because if you don't do it and you don't do all the difficult work, nothing will grow. And that's a real metaphor for relationship for you. Now, I'm just going to take an Angel Oracle card as well, because I fancy that. Don't have to knock on that box. Okay. That one flipped up. You get romance. And again, romance obviously is a very nice thing, and Pisceans are particularly into it. You know, we love romance. Our life is quite romantic. Pisceans walking around on a beach on their own, they find the beach romantic. But this is again with the Seven of Cups as well, separating out the romance from the real, because there needs to be both. Gardens can be very romantic, but like I said, you shovel shit for weeks to get that romantic bloom. And relationships are no different. And neither are careers. Nothing happens without the graft, does it? So I think what's transpiring for you is you're finding out what you need to know about whether someone can put in the graft and whether you want to in that particular scenario too. Let's not forget you in this, Pisces. Woof! I'm going to go do the extended reading. It is the first link in the description box. We're going to have a good old dig around from this reading. Thank you for joining me. Leave me a comment about what it means to be a Pisces and what justice means to you. And I will see you soon. Namaste.